Welcome back, Rage Nation. Got myself Pete here.
That's not really exciting.
You got Senior Dixon.
I don't think that's appropriate.
And you got Monsieur Leopard.
Explorers deserved it. No.
Absolutely.
I was disgusted. I cannot believe they've done this.
It's wacky, it's not good, it's just nonsense.
I disagree on that. That's not possible.
We're getting the band back together. We're on a mission. Yeah.
Now we've got a whole new list of things to complain about.
Welcome back, Rage Nation. We are at it again. Got myself Pete here. And of course, with me, I have Monsieur Leopard, which means
What up?
we're going to be talking about some Warmachine.
They deserved it.
So,
You still play that intro?
oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. As Monsieur Leopard would say. Yeah,
right.
so we had the UK lock and load that just finished up this weekend, and we saw some cool things. So I was like, Chris, let's talk about some stuff. And yeah, there's some cool things that they definitely showed and got me pumped. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, Steamforged, you got to stop it. I can only get so erect. Please stop.
Please stop. Please stop.
Yeah. So I don't know, Chris. I mean, there's a lot of cool things we're going to talk about with that, but yeah, in general, anything you're super pumped about that you saw?
I mean, first and foremost, I'm absolutely exuberant, like screaming out from the hills that the winning faction.
Why would you say that?
Oh, no reason.
Yeah.
Immune.
Yeah, so it was funny, right? So they had the Iron Gauntlet, which is like kind of like the final tournament in lock and load. Basically top tables. It's rough going. It's very competitive, and the top three, so getting first place in that competitive environment was the Sea Raiders, which Yuen is maybe going to put up for sale, are for sale, and haven't been bought yet. And then we have Grimkin, which is cool because Grimkin can be played now again. We had the Winter Core in third, and then in fourth, we ended up having Old Umbry, followed up with fifth place was also Sea Raiders. So a lot of focus factions in the top five there, Chris.
It's kind of crazy.
It's almost like
Kinda
you have to be
crazy.
good at the game and you can manipulate both things
It's
equally
weird
well.
like that. It's so weird. Like I don't get it.
Well, and the guy that won it, so David, he ended up playing Butcher. It looks like all the games, all 4 rounds, and won each one of them. And yeah, it turns out Butcher is pretty solid from what I hear.
Turns out Butcher is phenomenal.
Now,
Well, Butcher himself can decimate armies.
just by himself, just go in and wreck things.
Just by himself. Just go in and destroy half the opponent's army.
It's fair. I'm gonna have to
And
prepare.
then become invincible for basically a turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna prepare myself for that. I gotta go in and get slaughtered by it, and then figure out how to counter it.
I mean, you just have to stay away from Butcher, but I mean, Butcher himself has such a extended threat range.
Yeah, so it was really cool to see just the mix-up of what was going on here. A lot of really top layer players. It's cool because if you go on the Longshanks, you can actually even see the lists that people ran. You can see both their lists on it. So I'm definitely going to dig a little bit more into that as I just kind of turtle around on my iPad. I'm just going to be like, all right, well, let's see what this person brought. Let's see what that. I think there was one Crucible guard there, so I'm going to be like, all right, well, let's see what they ended up bringing.
Let's see what they brought.
I'll load it up real quick. Let's see what they ended up bringing here.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm
see here.
going to as
So
well.
Gearheart, which I think is definitely a popular one. And then, Major Bennett. Sexy. A lot of Rocketmen. No surprise there.
Oh, no surprise, yeah. Although, can you really go off of 16th place? I mean, that's like wooden spoon right there. Do you want to?
It is,
Do you want to emulate that
but the
list?
thing is, even if you're getting 16th out of that gauntlet of a tournament, it's just
You're still top,
it's like
top
tier.
Yeah.
You're getting smacked around by really good players.
Yeah.
So we'll talk probably in and out of maybe some of the things we saw from that tournament specifically. But once again, Lock and Load, they did a great presentation. Whoever the media team is over at Steamforge just always does a great job running all this media while the guys are talking about the various things that are coming in the roadmap and things like that. So, yeah, the biggest thing is, and I'm going to pull this back up with the app that I got here, is the biggest thing that we have the Fane of Nyrro. So they ended up spoiling not just kind of like what these things are, some of the models, they had them painted up. So that's cool to kind of see that done. But they also have a lot of the mechanics. And even in the app, they did a lot of updating in the app where now you can see the rules for the models that they basically have spoiled. But you can also see.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I was just going to say, you can also see rules for things like Scuttlebutt. So, yeah, it's kind of cool to go through and take a gander at all this.
Yeah, with the Fane of Nyrro or Nero, or I think it's Nyrro, they took off the old models that were in it, I think by accident.
Yeah.
Not 100% sure, but you remember the Journeyman that was on the Callis side? The Journeyman with the two cats?
Yeah.
Lanissa, she's supposed to be a caster on Fane.
No, not anymore.
And yeah, they took away that caster, so now there's just one caster on there. I think it was by accident, but I mean, hey, who knows? Maybe they're playing, sneaky.
Yeah, and you can go back, and I'll probably put the link for the video that they did for the keynote here, just because, if you like listening to that kind of stuff and hearing the details about it, it's always good to go and watch it back. But they kind of gave some of the fluff about it with these ancient creatures of myth and blasphemy, given this whole, almost a vampire count vibe that you get from the old world in 40K or Warhammer Fantasy.
They use hunger. I mean, yes, absolutely, it's vampire.
Yeah, do you want to talk about that hunger mechanic? So this is pretty unique to Warmachine. And I will say, this is something I do like about Steamforged, is they are constantly evaluating. They did this with Guild Ball as well, and they did it with God Tier, but they're constantly evaluating different ways, different design spaces. So they're not just going to try to rehash the same thing. They're going to try to use different ways to get the mechanics to feel like the fluff of the faction, right? So, do you want to kind of just walk through, Chris, what you understand this hunger mechanic to be?
Yeah, I mean, it looks really cool. It looks like, depending on the caster you take, you're going to have different mechanics to what the but the majority of your armies use, or at least the named pieces. So the more elite units, they all can use this hunger mechanic of whatever caster they bring. So I'm sure there's going to be defensive casters using hunger. I'm sure there's going to be offensive. I'm sure there's going to be all different types of casters that you can really use this stuff with.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm just looking at the Hysene, the Executioner, the Executioner. I don't know how you want to pronounce that. By the way, new people coming into Warmachine, listen to Rage with Wire. If you want abhorrent pronunciations of things, I'm your guy. So I'm here for it. But just looking at what she does, she has this giant just Executioner blade, which is sweet. She's going to be a melee beast.
Mat 8.
But the cool thing is you start to see how they're going to design this hunger mechanic, because you can see it has a number next to it, and it says basically you can spend that much hunger to get that effect. So you have stuff like the Brutal Strike, which you can spend 7 hunger points to gain decapitation on the next melee. If the attack destroys an enemy model, she gains 3 hunger points. Damage from the attack and decapitation that exceeds the armor of the model hit is doubled. A model disabled by the attack cannot make a tough roll. So just straight up head off.
So here's the really cool thing that I was looking at this. So all Eldritch models get to use this hunger mechanic, and if you go back and look at the solo, the Strigon Rider, he has armor piercing. So armor piercing decapitation. That's gonna slaughter Colossals in one hit.
Yeah, very possible, right? So how does he get decapitation, though, on the rider?
So he's an Eldritch model, so he can spend 7 hunger points and get decapitation.
So if they're that model, they can use basically the Warcaster's hunger stuff? Is that what that is?
Yeah, so if you read up top, Executioner, when Hysene destroys an enemy model, she gains 1 hunger point. Hysene and friendly faction Eldritch models have the following hunger abilities.
Oh my.
Oh my. Yeah, so have the armor. So let's say average, what is that, average 20 colossal? I mean,
Yeah, that sounds about
granted,
right.
Old Umbry is 18, and there's variants, but so that goes to 10. So it's going to be dice right there. And let's say they roll average dice, so 10 on a charge.
Yeah.
So 10 over is doubled, so that's 20 hit points right there.
Good chunk of it.
That's a third of a colossal's hit points.
And you can have 2 of these riders just flying around the board.
Yeah, they're pretty good, man.
Yeah, I mean, so I do like the, because you're obviously manipulating fury, but these hunger points, I mean, if people are just coming back to Warmachine, this is very similar to like soul tokens, right, Chris, where you're getting this extra type of thing that you can use as a resource, essentially. Yep.
Well, yeah, because Crucible Guard, they use elixir, so like it's a well-known mechanic to have extra tokens. I'm interested to see, like, is there going to be a cap on hunger points? Because I didn't really hear that they said anything along those lines.
Well, because correct me if I'm wrong, the war beasts are also helping get hunger points. If I read that correctly during the presentation.
Yeah, so they are hunger generators. Yeah,
a little less of the damage, so they're more kind of batteries, I guess, for your disgusting models.
Yeah, exactly. Even the named one, the Severus, is, from what they said, going to be more of a generating hunger.
Yeah. And it's definitely interesting to see. And they can even, let's see here, when it boxes, if it does this, battles group controller gains 2 hunger points. So, yeah, I mean, if you look at these war beasts, it looks like most of their things that when they do whatever effects they're generating it looks like a lot of them are off the feast mechanic or ability on their cards.
Yeah, and it's going to be harder for the rider to get, these hunger points because I'm sure there's going to be some type of mechanism or a model that can, transfer hunger points.
Mm-hmm.
That's what most of these factions kind of do. But, I mean, Crucible Guard, you can't transfer the elixir tokens that I'm aware of.
Yeah, not that I see. Something either
Yeah.
generates them or pulses them out or something like that. So I assume it's going to be a lot of the same. Probably have, I know it would be cool, and they haven't shown anything like this yet, but it would be cool if they had some kind of models or units that you could feast off of them and kill them yourself. To be like, oh, this is like our, this is our little unit
Rage
of
battery.
Yeah, our little
Rage
unit
batteries.
of just mobile meat that we can just, get these tokens off when we want them.
Yep. Rage batteries.
Yeah,
100%.
they're just self-sacrificing themselves so you can just have all the feast tokens that you need. Yeah, so we'll keep talking about these because we're gonna go through more of what they shared. But yeah, I'm gonna actually have my buddy Eric, who he's up in Manhattan. I'm gonna have him go through this too because I might have him on with us just to talk about what we're noticing, some of the cool things, maybe synergies and things like that. Because he played vampire accounts when we did Warhammer Fantasy. So he is all about this.
Yep. That's awesome.
Let's see here. So
Landing's Manhattan, so I'm sure there's a pretty good meta up there.
Yeah, they got a decent one up there. He's been doing a slow grow league with them as well. So going back to where we see Hysene, the Executioner. So just a general outline for people who might be interested in this. So it's a frontline bruiser, no surprise. Going head hunting here, probably assassination, something that she's going to specialize at. Personally destroys an enemy, she generates hunger. Her unique way of spending hunger gives her and other Eldritch access to decapitation attacks. So yeah, just everything you and I were talking about where she's just going in, trying to murder big things. It's going to be like a trophy hunting list probably if you build it right.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Going through some of these war beasts, just look at them real quick. Looks like most of these, I mean, it makes sense, right? They have flying. They're going to be pretty fast. They're going to probably have a lot of mobility and jank that each of these models are going to have. And with the Cyberus, we see that with echolocation, right? Where you're within 6, and this can, of course, be the Warcaster as well. But while within 6 of this model, friendly faction models always have line of sight to enemy models that this model has line of sight to.
Which is pretty good.
Yikes. Yikers.
Well, and this is a named beast. So generally, these named beasts are going to be on 50 mils. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big footprint.
Yeah, Cyberus is a 50 mil. Whoa! I did not notice that they had eyeless sight. That is something.
Well, they're bats. I mean, I would hope they have eyeless sights.
I forgot that was a rule. This is the first time I'm seeing that rule coming back, and I'm like, oh yeah, eyeless sight is pretty good.
Yeah, eyeless sight is pretty good.
Let's see here.
That's an understatement, but yes.
Yeah, so fast moving, enabling the rest of the army to be more efficient, capable of dragging enemies out of position. So definitely enjoy that because that's going to help you getting people off points or kidnapping models to decapitate. So always good.
Okay, it goes back to trophy hunter list that you're talking about.
Yeah.
You know,
and there's nothing worse than when you're playing against an opponent and you kind of see them kidnap one of your models and you're just like, oh no, that model is going to die.
I'm in danger.
So they got the Scythus Prophet. That's just a command attachment for Eldritch units. Protects the unit against range attacks using Ashen Veil. Returns Fallen Fane to battle. Pretty decent, as the kids would say.
As the kids would say.
So yeah, the Fane Riders, before you talked about giving this decapitation and having armor piercing.
It's already looks great, yeah.
The model looks fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a vampire
absolutely.
dude with a lance riding one of these fell beasts or whatever you want to call them, one of these bat beasts around the board.
Yeah.
It's
here. It's nuts, man. It's
Receives
nuts.
a significant armor improvement while operating close to the Fane or Warlock. I'm going to take a look at that real quick.
Yeah, I didn't even see in the app on that. I'm going to have to pull it up.
While this model is within 10 of a friendly faction Eldritch Leader model, it gains +3 armor. So it's armor 19 if you're next to your buddy.
10 inches is not next to
Chris, I think I know the answer to this, but I do want to ask you this just because I've heard a couple new players ask this question in different Discords I've been in. So if I have my control range, right, because this is saying like, hey, you got to be within 10 of your caster, essentially. So you have your control range, and you have a lot of stuff that says like, while in control range, or while within this, range of the caster. Yep. That is his control range or the range of the caster. That doesn't include arc nodes, right? Like I can't extend that bubble by using arc nodes, if I remember correctly.
You cannot. There are very few mechanics to extend control ranges, and usually those are going to be on the casters. Okay. Now, and I can't really say that as a generalization because in the past, Minoth had a control range extender as well, and I'm sure that unit or model is going to come back out with Minoth. Gotcha. So there are going to be other ones besides the casters, but most of the time they're just casters.
Okay. Yeah, that's good to know for sure. Let's see here. Another heavy war beast that they had was the Vordax. These things look terrifying. A lot of nightmare fuels coming out here. Lower damage output for a heavy war beast. So once again, I mean, if we're just looking at the different options for this, there's really not a high damage that you would expect for a lot of heavy beasts or heavy jacks. But key hunger generators. So you're probably going to, just from guessing here, you're going to want to have a couple of these probably to help you just generate enough hunger to do your fancy stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Crucial in taking hits intended for the Fane or Warlock. So maybe some take the hit options there so your caster doesn't die, which is always good. Unique and unusually beneficial frenzy mechanics. So I haven't gone through everything. They got 3 different head, conditioning, wings. They got a lot of different options.
Yeah, the frenzy unique mechanic is one of its animuses is when it frenzies, it immediately frenzies again once per turn.
That's kind of nuts.
Which is cool, but again, it's a heavy, only swinging with a POW 15.
Yeah, we'll look more at these options that it has because it does have a handful of options for just what you would want to bring with it.
Or one POW 18, but it's single shot. So I'm going to use it once per turn.
Yeah. I do like how they have the sonic lure, so it's a spray, but you basically, instead of doing damage, you just place them next to the war beast.
That's right.
They're not lying about saying that you can pull in your opponent. That is quite the placement.
Yes. Yep.
Just 1 inch out of what you're doing. All right, so let's see. Was there anything else they shared with that? So that was the last card. And like I said, they do have this in the app. we're going to go through it, and we're going to get on here and just talk specifically about all the new stuff we're seeing on here. But yeah, I mean, Chris, I know you have a laundry list of things that you're looking to play. Is this hitting your list of you may want to pick this up, or you're like, eh?
I love the aesthetic. I'm all about these bats. These are phenomenal pieces, but I don't like to jump on the new, you know?
I'm kind of the same thing where unless it's really something that is my jam,
Yeah.
I like the Kith Guard. I like them, but I'm more like, you know what? I'm gonna let everybody enjoy the hotness. I'm kind of gonna keep doing my thing.
Yeah. Well, you're more of the Crucible Guard, man. I mean,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm all about that.
That
right
hits
now.
a lot of your your personal niche. Like, that's yeah. And I like Old Umbry, and then I'm getting my Grimkin. So
The Grimkin. Yeah. I remember seeing those at your place because you still played Warmachine longer than me, and you being all about them. And I can't wait to actually see Grimkin on the table and see what the heck they're even about.
That's right. I mean, they're a lot of fun. They're a synergy army, and I love synergy armies.
Now, the cool thing is, once again, you can find this on our Discord, or you can just look at Warmachine Media. I'll have the link in the show notes as well. But apparently, some people could buy this at the booth at SteamCon, or not SteamCon, but at Lock and Load. So that gives you maybe some incentive for Lock and Load in the U.S. because maybe you'll be able to pick up some Menoth stuff. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. You can pre-order this,
yes,
which is sweet. I saw that on there. One thing I thought was interesting, Chris, and you can let me know what you think about this. I got to pull it up here. But I was surprised at how quickly they're going to put out the Fane of Nyrro stuff. Because it looks like they're going to have it completely out on the calendar by September.
Yeah.
Which is pretty freaking cool.
It's pretty fast, absolutely.
Going to see all these bats flying around in a store near you.
Right. That's
starting
exactly
in June.
Right. Starting in June. All these bats.
Checking anything else out? Yeah. Any other thoughts with Dusk, the Fane of Nyrro, before we move on to some of this other stuff?
Yeah. No, I'm good. I'm excited about some of the other stuff.
All right. So looking at some of the other stuff, I guess let's talk about some of the other stuff that we have actual cards for that we can see. Let's talk about the old Scuttlebutt first. So once again, this is in the app, so you can check this out if you want to. But old Scuttlebutt has a big butt. This guy...
This guy's good.
So, of course, he's a big crab man. He's going to be having high armor. But as we were discussing, he's going to be armor 25 against range attacks.
Which is nuts. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
How do you even deal with this guy?
Armor piercing. That's how you deal with it. Armor piercing and decapitation.
Still, man. Armor piercing, it's a 15 with armor piercing.
Yeah. So, yeah, let me ask you how that works. So, if I'm going to... Because it doesn't get +4 against his lance, so actually that's a lot more doable. So he's only armor 21.
So he'd be armor 21, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then if you gave him, some other type of like chain weapons or something like that, it can get around that shield.
Yeah, you're going to have to put like debuffs on Scuttlebutt and hit him in melee. Guns might not be doing a lot against this guy.
That's exactly right. And on a Hordes model, it's not like you could take away his arm, like, the Warmachine side of things, where you can damage different columns and potentially take away the left arm that it's on. But no, not with this one.
Yeah, and I was talking to you about this before we started recording. When I'm playing Firequill, I think I like Scuttlebutt a little bit more than the cannons on the Abyssal King or whatever it's called. Just because you have the Searchlight, which is great. It's just, it doesn't do damage, but it just makes it easier for your models to go at something. It's like you're putting the light on them and saying like, "Hey boys, go get at it."
So if you think about it, you can fire group, or is it fire group, right? No, it's not that. It's what's the ancillary attack? The hey you make a shot.
Oh yeah. It's I can't remember what the spell is called, but yeah, it's basically like, hey, just go ahead and take a pop shot. It is
Open fire. Open fire.
Yeah, open fire on Fire Quill.
So you can open fire. You can activate with your caster, open fire, and then have him do the beacon before his activation to get the extra +2 for himself.
Yeah. Which, dude, I like that. I like the cannons, the tri-cannons. Now, Rat 5 doesn't seem great, but there are a lot of buffs in the Brine Bloods to increase the rat of models or make it easier to hit models with your range attacks. So you can get that up 1 or 2 rat points there. You can shoot it, 3 times?
He's a Fury 5.
Is he? That seems like a lot.
He's a Fury 5.
Is that normal?
There are Colossals
Is that normal for a Colossal?
that don't have Fury 5.
I mean, the Abyssal King has.
He's
Fury
not
5.
a Colossal, though, Pete.
Oh, he's not? Oh, he's a super heavy. Oh, jeez.
He's a 5.
I did not notice that. That's why I have Chris on here for the technicalities where I'm just glossing over it, and Chris is like, did you notice this?
It is nuts.
Do most super heavies not have that much?
No.
Oh.
No, absolutely not.
Fair.
Most super heavies have 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Maybe 4.
I like the tri-cannon, POW 14, range 10. Range 10's pretty good for Brine Bloods. A lot of their stuff's shorter range with range 8, so I like that. Shipwrecker, POW 20. Gotta love that. Vice Clamp, also love that. Basically, what is it? -2 and cannot advance while within this model's melee range. So he's just like, just stay here. You're here with me.
It's good. It's good. Yeah.
Locking things down.
The Shadow Seraph, which is one of the new models as well that we'll talk about here in a second, that's got 4. That's
nice.
the Kalis Super Heavy.
Yeah, I didn't realize old Scuttlebutt was only on an 80 and a super heavy. Okay.
Yeah, he's not a Colossal.
Fair enough.
He's almost the same size as the Abyssal King, though.
Let's see here. Anything else with this? I mean, there's a handful of things, giving out cover and stuff. That's fine. Has sidestep, can't be knocked down. It looks like a fun model. I'm excited to give it a go.
It looks like a really fun model, and the fact that they put regeneration on it kind of makes you want to spend some of the focus on that.
Yeah.
But I really don't see this guy getting damaged very much from a ranged attack. I see your Alpha Strike going to be having to take out old Scuttlebutt.
Now,
and with 22-point cost,
yeah,
it's worth it. Yeah.
Now, while we're talking about trolls here, they also did give us the Fortress King, and we have seen pictures of this thing on the table, and it is ridiculously huge.
It is massive. Just the anchor is massive.
I don't think we have the rules for it yet, but
we don't. Yeah, we don't.
It's massive. This thing makes other models very, very tiny in comparison looking.
Yeah, or not the anchor, the giant cleaver that he has.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that that you're going to be able to ambush from him is crazy.
Now, did they release the rules for General Gunbjorn yet?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I didn't.
Actually, no. I think I did see it. Yeah, he's in there. Yeah, he's pretty good.
Is he?
He's got a lot of shots.
Is he under the solos?
No, he's a warlock.
Oh, is he?
He's Kithgard, though. You might be looking at Bloodbrine.
Oh, there he is.
Blood.
There he is. I found him.
The fact that he gives his entire faction impervious flesh is just nuts.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. The two casters, the 2 warlocks that you're going to take in Kithgard are going to be Craighorn and Gunbjorn. And the first thing you're going to do when you go up against an opponent is ask them, have you played Kithgard before? And if they say no, then you drop Craighorn.
Because that's the one with all the traps and stuff, right?
And you top a turn to assassinate them. Absolutely. You teach them a lesson. If they say yes, then you go with Gunbjorn and you just beat the shit
just
out
body
of
them.
all of their models. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna have to give him a go because I saw it in there and I was like, I thought he was. I guess I don't know why I thought he was like a solo or something, but no, he's just straight up forecaster. Yeah, he's in there as well. We're gonna take a look at the other thing. I'm just gonna see if there's anything that kind of floats my fancy. Lots of bazookas. See what his feet does. Stronghold. Friendly faction models and Gunborn's control range gain impervious flesh that's run around. Suffers damage roll. Is rolling one fewer die good? Because that seems good.
What happened now?
No, I was just looking at Stronghold, the feat that you were talking about with impervious
Oh,
flesh.
it's so good. Impervious flesh. That is just, it's nuts, man. That's so good.
So what was...
Faction wide.
Yeah, no kidding. So what was the model you were talking about that was in Shadow Flame Shard? Was that the one you were talking about that they had the other model?
Yeah, the Shadow Seraph, the one that they have right up top on one of your screenshots with old Scuttlebutt saying available in the booth.
Yep.
Although I don't know if you took a pic. Did you take a picture of that?
I don't know if I did for that one, but yeah, it's another super heavy.
It's Khaliss Super Heavy. So Khaliss now has 2 Super Heavies because they really needed it.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't had any interactions with this faction yet. So, I mean, if I'm playing against them and I see something like this across the table, I mean, is it just going to be fast and just sprays and just ruining my life? Like, what's happening with this?
Yeah, Khaliss, both of their Super Heavies are extremely fast and do extreme amounts of damage. Or sorry, not Khaliss, Chimera. Yeah, so the Shadow Seraph at 21 points, speed 6, but his apparition, and then the Wyvern or Weavern is speed 7 with reposition and just a ton of
yeah. So with
output.
apparition, let me ask you this because I've been seeing a lot of abilities that have this kind of place effect. So the places, because I'm obviously coming from Malifaux, places work a certain way. So this says you can place completely anywhere within 2 inches of its current location. So when I do that, I have to, it's like a mini place, isn't it? Because I have to be completely where I was in between. Like I can't go within 2, like in Malifaux, where I can put my bar base 2 inches away.
Yeah, it's got to be completely within. Not most of them, not just within. So that same rule set is in Malifaux. It says completely, and then it says within, and it's like, ooh.
So
I can get
in
away
Malifaux,
with this.
places like that aren't very good usually. How good are these like mini places?
They're phenomenal because it changes charge lines like almost completely. Yeah, you can't just rely on the fact that these horsemen that this Crix player threw up the table, and then repositioned, spreading out. So now you've got all these different charge vectors with apparate. It's just, it's nuts.
All right, and then let's see here. Going down, I'm just checking some of the other new things that they talked about here. Of course, the rules drops, so that's great. 3D stuff's getting finished up, which is nice by December. So like the Thornfall Alliance, I guess, is going to be completely finished up and available by December.
Yep, and guess what's releasing? I'm not going to play them, but I played them constantly back in the day.
Thornfall Alliance?
No. I said, guess what's dropping after that?
What's dropping after that?
Seriously, it's right here, man.
I know it is. I'm making you say it, though.
It's Dead Seas Bay.
The Crix Black Fleet.
Black Fleet. That's right.
Yeah, was it Scar was the main warcaster for that?
Yeah, Scar was the main warcaster who had the attack Great Rack, but it was for her horns, not her giant,
large tracts of land.
Large tracts of land.
Yeah, and if you check it out, the video is cool because they go through the sculpts and stuff, and it does look pretty sweet.
Play really cool theme music, but Rengrave, who was one of my favorite models, he was so much fun. He's coming back as a warcaster, and he's getting a bunch of revenants. Yeah,
wasn't he like a solo or something previously?
He was maybe
a unit attachment or something. I don't remember.
No, I think he was a solo. Either he was a solo or he was a journeyman.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes more sense.
I'm actually looking that up right now because I don't remember. It's been so long. I know I have a local, my buddy Brian, who he saw the Black Fleet, and he's playing Merc Pirates, so he's all about the Crix Pirates as well. So. Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, and they look phenomenal. I really want Scar to have a great rack again.
You mean the horns?
Yeah, 100%. I mean the horns. I mean, I'm not a chauvinist pig.
I forget who it was in Charleston, but we had somebody in our meta. It might have been Jeremy or somebody who played Scar all the time.
Yeah.
I think
It
that
was
might have been
Jason.
like the one list he just always played. The other thing that they showed though, and this is coming out towards the end of the year, is they have some Menoth models that are actually painted up, and they gave us some good pictures of that. Now, I will say two things. One, I do like the infantry, the way that they're sculpted up. I think the infantry Menoth stuff looks pretty cool. The two jacks they shared though look very samey to me.
They look very samey in the same, almost the exact same pose, hunched over, shield and weapon.
Yeah,
and that's what a lot of the Menoth looked like back in the day. They were all very much the same aesthetic. So I really hope.
I think the people that like Menoth don't maybe necessarily care, because it's almost like the more special jacks tend to have more fire and more, fancy laurels that are hanging off like their, ribbons and their different awards that they've won over campaigns, different tabards. But besides that, it's like, oh yeah, we're all wearing this nice clean white armor and
nice clean white ivory armor.
Yeah, I think it's an aesthetic that if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I can talk crap here, but when I'm looking at Crucible Guard, all their jacks kind of look the same too. So.
Well, they do. I can't argue with that.
It's just like, oh, this one has this weapon and this, range attack. Okay, this one has a little arc.
Yeah, you got to really get in there and boil some water and dip an arm in and change its pose a little bit.
Yeah, right.
If you want anything out of the ordinary.
But to be fair, Crucible Guard doesn't tend to run a lot of jacks, so there's that.
To be fair,
we like our big.
They don't run a lot of jacks. They like either the really big or a bunch of infantry.
We like the infantry or the huge colossals.
yeah. We got no in between.
Oh man. So Menoth, if you're really enjoying it, I will say though, if the infantry looks this cool in Menoth, I might be down for it.
Dude, the infantry, like, I don't even like. I'm not super stoked on the leader's helmet right there.
Yeah,
I like all the regular infantry model helmets.
Yeah,
and the one that they previewed at Warfare Weekend, the like smooth, sleek rounds. Oh, I loved it. Yeah, these models look fantastic.
Yeah, so definitely cool to see more sculpts come out from that. I will say, like, even though if the jacks all do look the same, it'll be very cool and very uniform on the table with this faction, which will definitely be cool.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, 100%.
All right, so anything else as far as stuff spoiled during the keynote? Like I said, I'll link the video, but anything else that you noticed, Chris, or you wanted to share?
Yeah, I'm just really excited about the Crix Dead Seas Bay models, the Revenants hitting the table. They said that they restructured all the Revenants to kind of look a little bit more like what they had in mind when it comes to Revenants.
Yeah.
Instead of the old models, which were just a bunch of zombies type thing. But yeah, I'm really excited. I'm excited for Menoth because my buddy Mike is huge into Menoth, and he already bought the armor STLs, and he's working on printing it.
There was another content creator that offered to print it for me. I just didn't feel like paying the shipping for it because a big helmet's going to cost a little bit to get over. And I was like, I'm not a Menoth homer. I'm not that jazzed for it. But if I want it, I'll hit you up for it. It's really cool though. I put pictures in the Discord.
How far away? Where are you?
I mean, it wasn't bad. I mean, he's in the U.S., but it's just $20 shipping, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to pay that, but
I don't know if I want to pay $20
and paying for the print, right?
Yeah.
So I guess the last thing we can talk about before we wrap this thing up is just looking at maybe the list or some of the lists that people brought in the tournament that finished in the top here. I don't know if you have any interest or notice anything interesting about these lists. I am noticing a lot of big models, though.
Yes. So Grimkin is, I'm surprised, very surprised, that the Grimkin player didn't bring both his lists having two slaughterhouses, because that's kind of the thing right now. Slaughterhouses are, being the cheap, one of the cheapest colossals. It's almost why not take two? They're phenomenal. They can pull in any model, ignoring other models. So, I mean, not colossals, obviously, and then you can't pull in models that have steady or stuff like that. the ones that can't be pushed or placed. But the fact that you can like maneuver your opponent's models with a colossal and then just chew through them. I think the Slaughterhouse took out Aberration in one go round.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, like bottom of turn 1 when the Grumkin player was playing an Orgoth player. The Orgoth player ran Aberration up a little bit too far, thinking that he was, safe, and then the Slaughterhouse just kind of moseyed on up and then shot it and pulled it and just killed it, ate it.
Yeah, I mean, something I'm noticing with a lot of these lists, and maybe you can tell me since you've been doing some more of the competitive stuff, right, is I'm noticing a lot of these lists that it seems like there's one list that is very infantry/unit heavy, and then another list that goes a little more like hit boxes, whether it's your super heavies or your colossals. But I'm noticing kind of a blend of the two when I'm seeing a lot of these lists.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and you'll find that quite a bit because it all depends on different armies. Now, some factions can deal with a larger array of casters, but some armies you're going to go against are going to be faster than yours, so you need to kind of play defensively or whatnot and so on. Old Umbry has some popular casters that they brought. They brought Casimir and Yana, which were both great casters. I played both of them. Actually, the Yana list looks a lot like my Yana list. I just don't take the Chosen. I take a couple of, nor do I take the Hounds. I take a lot of Wardens and stuff like that, more for corpse generation than anything else. But the Casimir list is just, it's great. Although I only see 6 shapeshifters in here. I probably would have dropped that Chosen again and brought some.
Yeah, I gotta play around with it because once again, playing a lot of Crucible Guard at the moment. Obviously, Brine Bloods, I'm definitely looking at bringing some big fatties in those lists. But I see a lot of people in Crucible Guard that I got to play with because it almost seems like a lot of people are favoring Magnus the Unstoppable with Invictus over maybe bringing something like the Vulcan. So, I don't know. Have you had a lot of experience with these additional solos where it's like the mini caster plus they're super heavy? Like, have you had a lot of experience?
I do. Yeah, I do. And I played Magnus as my first one, and I loved him. Like, he, Invictus himself almost single-handedly took down a trike, which was amazing. Like,
they seem like they
really
have a
good.
lot of value. They seem like 20 points, a lot of value.
They do, and they have a lot of value in a couple of different aspects. So a lot of these, like, Journeyman Caster / Warjack Beast combos.
Yeah.
Although I don't think there is a War Beast one. I know that
There's Aberration.
There are aberrations.
You got a War
Monstrosity,
Boar.
yeah.
You got a War Boar.
Oh yeah, the War Boar. Okay, yeah. All of these duos, they're all undercosted.
Yeah.
So if you look at the actual faction, like Mercenaries, the War Boar costs more if you just take the War Boar.
Yeah.
And then and the caster, like, so you really do get a lot of value from it.
Yeah, I think Invictus is going to be the one that I'm going to pick up just because generally with what Crucible Guard does, he seems to fit the best. It's just decent guns, got a little bit of, a melee that's not terrible. So at least that's what all the Crucible Guard players tell me, so that's what I'm going to give a shot first.
Yeah. I have Invictus and Magnus. I love them. I'm just waiting for Verona and Gallant to come out, and I'll pick those up. But
yeah, Did you see the picture of the painted one that they had in their booth?
No. I didn't
If you scroll up in the post that I did, I have all the models that they painted up.
Oh, look at that! Yeah.
It's so clean.
That guy looks so Gallant looks like a Gundam fighter, right?
You're not wrong.
No, he looks awesome.
Which I'm sure a lot of people love.
Yeah, no, I love. Yeah, but anyways, yeah, I'm waiting for those models to come out. Unfortunately, I just signed up for the subscription, which stinks. But the Exulon and Aberration, like, I've primarily been playing Old Umbry, so they don't fit very well in Old Umbry.
Yeah.
Because Exulon, you really want to be able to use the revive that he has, and a lot of Old Umbry mechanisms are RFP, so it doesn't work very well.
Yeah, and something that I thought was cool, just as I've been looking at images from the event, lists, what's being released, it's kind of just a cool time to play Warmachine, because I feel like everybody's just trying to figure out what's good and figure out how to play the game again. So to me, it's just kind of a cool time to be playing Warmachine in general.
Absolutely.
Anything we missed, Chris, or anything you want to share before we wrap this thing up?
I hit everything I wanted to hit. I just can't wait to tell Yoon about the top 8.
I already told him that Sea Raiders won. He's like, it must have been a miscalculation. I was like, he won all the rounds. Like, he must have had 2 buys.
So, you also got to look, top 5 players had 2 Sea Raiders.
Yeah.
Number 5 was the Sea Raider as well.
The faction that he says, he's not going to play because focus sucks, apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
But yeah, I think something we're going to do is we'll look at the Fane of Nyrro cards, and I think it'll be cool if we kind of look through, what this looks like if you take these models that have been spoiled together. Once again, if this is a faction you're interested in, you can pre-order the stuff now. I would check with your LGS; they probably can pre-order some stuff for you as well. And yeah, it'll be cool to see this on the table because it's something new and interesting.
With a new mechanic. Yeah, no, I'm excited to see him on the table.
All right. Well, we are going to leave it there, but I want to thank everybody for hopping on. Remember to check out our Discord channel. And if you want to become a direct supporter, get these episodes early, get other content that other people don't get, definitely become a patron at patreon.com/RageQuitWire. And we appreciate you. But until next time, make sure that you guys are rolling dice and throwing salt, and we will talk to you all later.